Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have a lot more fun. I'm your host, Paul Sanneman. I'm founder of Contractor Staffing Source, where we help contractors find great people and build great teams. So I have as my guest today, Bob Freedman from Zuper, which I guess is extra super. Is that what Zuper is?
You got it, Paul. Extremely
Okay, cool.
super.
So tell me, what does Zuper do and how is it going to help people in the industry?
Yes, so Zuper is a field service management platform, and what we do is we help field companies, anybody who's got people in trucks going out to do things. We help them get the right technician with the right skills and the right tools to the right job at the right time. And what we aim to do is help, people, deliver that higher, more elevated level of customer experience for their customers, and also improve the quality of life of their technicians through an easy to use tool that gives them all the information that they need to get the job done, and the first time too.
Okay, so tell me sort of how did this work? I assume it works on your phone or a pad. How does it function?
Yeah, so we've got it's both desktop and mobile. So it's got an iOS and Android apps that work on iPads, they work on, phones. And then there's also for the back office staff who manage the team, who are doing, data and analytics, who are running the scheduling and dispatching, who are and doing other parts of the organization. They have their own desktop view as
Okay.
well.
So I guess you've got two kinds of customers, people that haven't done anything and people that are switching from ServiceTitan or somebody else, whoever else the other competition is.
Mhm.
So the question I would have is, how do you get people, I'm going to call, they grew up as craftsmen, right? They're plumbers, they're electricians, they're paint where they are, they're service people. And they had a company, they had a truck. Now they have 5 trucks and 10 people. How do you get them to adapt the technology,
Yeah, that's a
adopt the
great,
technology?
yeah, that's a great question, Paul, because we run into a lot of companies who are either still paper and pencil processes or maybe some Excel spreadsheets. They're dispatching people by just texting their technician in the morning, hey, this is your job. Let me know when you're done. I'll send you the next one. Stuff like that, which is inefficient. And a lot of the times these business owners or chief operating officers or head of field service people are like, I'm drowning in paperwork, I'm drowning in my own manual processes, and some of them have made the digital leap some years ago and are on some legacy tools and platforms that still don't quite all work and talk together, so they're not getting that 360 holistic view of their business, or there's broken workflows that need to be addressed. And that's where a platform like ours comes in, where our platform often can replace 2 or 3 or even more of those individual systems. Or if they're completely working off paper and pencil, we show them immediate return on that investment, because even though this may be scary, it may be a daunting task to, or a big lift to buy and implement your first enterprise level software, the downstream impact on your business is going to be tremendous savings, greater efficiencies, cost
Well,
savings,
how do you
happier
get,
employees.
like, obviously the field guys have to be the hardest, right? I mean, I can see the office person's going, okay, fine. But then you got, I've been using an Excel spreadsheet or texting or whatever for several years. This, how do you get them to actually embrace the technology and go, wow, this is really cool. It shows you where to go, where to be, how much it costs, what you charge, all that kind of stuff.
Change management, always a challenge, but where we like to do work with change management is first involving them in the early process of implementation and showing them how our workflows aren't rigid in the box. They're highly configurable to the way they do business. And then showing them that I like to believe we've built, if not the best, one of the strongest user experiences on like an iPad or a phone, It's just a tremendous app where it feels natural. Like as soon as they get into it and they start to use it, very quickly they realize after a couple of days on the job, how was I doing this before?
So it shows them, tell me, what's the actual interface? So it shows them where to go, where to be. Maybe walk me through people in previous business, they get the service of phone call. Somebody calls up and says, I need my heater fixed, or I need
Yep.
my toilet. Everything starts with a phone call, right? So
Yeah.
how does it tie into like the phone call's got to be some kind of serum? They may use HubSpot, they may use something else, might use anything other than answering the phone and take it on a yellow pad, right? So
Yep.
how does it flow from the phone call to the final invoice?
Yeah. I mean, so, and this is, I'm going to give you kind of a basic workflow because again, it's very configurable to, whatever processes or procedures or policies a company may want to implement.
Mhm.
But in general, so that person makes that phone call or maybe books online. So they can do,
Right.
we do support online booking tools, but also, they call dispatcher or the field service manager takes that call and they bring up the customer's information, say, you're trying to schedule, your heaters down. So they can see immediately who worked on it last, see what was done previously, can see
Well, what if they're
photos.
a nothing was done? It's like a whole new customer.
New customer, then they get to enter that customer information in and see when the next technicians, our intelligent AI powered dispatching and routing tool will say, okay, who do we got in the area who's got the right tools and right expertise and certifications to work on what it needs to be serviced, and they'll find who that person is, what their availability is, match that up with the customer's availability, and it's booked immediately. It shows up on the service technician's job queue, whether it's same day, next day, or whenever it's been scheduled out. When they log in. It can also be configured so someone in, say, a warehouse who picks parts and equipment, they'll get an alert saying, okay, these are the assets. These are the piece parts that this technician needs loaded into his truck. Here's the tool set that they're going to need for the day. And those get put in. So when that technician shows up to pick up their van, it's ready to roll. And then the customer is going to get like a text notification. Hey, you know, Paul's on his way to you. He'll be there a much more narrow, more accurate window. So you don't need to take half your workday off. You don't
Right.
need to give these 4 or 5 hour service windows. They'll get a photo of you so they can verify the person at the door looks like you, is you. Verified. Uh, uh, all that stuff. The technician, when they're on site, can take pictures, can come up with a quote, come up with a best, better, best, comparison. So like give them some choices, can process the payment, the invoice. If it's a really big job, even apply for consumer credit financing right there with all within the app.
Okay. So I show up for whatever, the heater, what's
Yeah.
the air conditioner, or say I'm doing a water heater. So the pricing is there. I assume it's going to print out some kind of like, this is what it's going to cost you. They can sign, or they actually sign on the iPad. How do they agree to do it, the customer?
Both. We can support printing and we also can have it right there, e-signature. Yep.
Okay. And they sign it, and then you can go ahead and perform what you're going to perform. And then you leave.
And they can get an
And
email final report sent to the customer or loaded into our customer portal where the customer can reference what was done anytime they need to.
my guess, it even asks for a Google review. I'm just guessing.
We can set that up. Get your Google and Yelp reviews in there and 5 stars, please.
Okay. So that handles all the technical process for finding, scheduling, doing all that kind of stuff, right?
Yep. And
So,
then
what does it cost? Is it expensive? I guess that's a relative term.
it all depends. It depends on the size of the company, depends on their exact use case, how many integrations they want to bake in, but roughly our pricing is $85 per month per user.
Per month per user. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
sure he makes that up in the first week. Easy, right?
I mean, just the efficiency. We've heard stories
Well,
where
these guys are charging like 100 to 200 bucks an hour. I mean, it ain't cheap to get this stuff done, right?
yeah, exactly. And then just the gas savings alone with the intelligent routing tool to get people around traffic jams and not wasting time, they can squeeze in more jobs in the day. So pretty quickly, it's paying for itself.
So what makes you the best tool out there versus your competition? I'm just curious.
I,
So why are you better than the other guys?
I mean, I think our customer obsession, and not just our obsession with our own customers, but the end customer as well, our customers. That definitely differentiates us. Beyond that, it's an extremely configurable tool. It has many out of the box integrations to hook up with the other tools that you're using in your enterprise, such as NetSuite or a QuickBooks, Slack for internal communications, or whatever it may be. We've got over 60 of those built-in native integrations, so you're not having to use Zapier. You're not going to have to use a lot of manual processes to
Okay.
hook the data up together. We play
Now,
nice with others.
so I would say one of the issues with a lot of this kind of when people put in new software is sometimes the customer service, they say, hey, watch these 3 videos. If you have any questions, give us a call. It's not hand holding in the sense I think is the best. Do you have like CSR people that can actually walk the people through it and train them, or do you use like a bunch of videos?
We have a whole mix. So we do have a great customer success team that does work with people through the implementation as part of the onboarding process, and then ongoing as well. Also, we do have the Zuper Academy. So there are those videos you can go. A lot of them are also on our YouTube channel. You can also just call for support. So there's varying ways for people to learn how to get stuff done. We're building a community out to help users help other users. And then finally, if your company's growing, one of the other benefits of Zuper is you're not going to outgrow Zuper. There's some tools out there, eventually you get to a size you're going to outgrow. We can continue to expand our capabilities. Say you need a new integration built, we've got a team that can do that. If you need down the line new workflows created, we can help you with that. And we have some wonderful people with deep industry experience who can also help you think about best practices and be that consultant to help you.
And now, what if I'm in the field and it's not for what my app doesn't work? Something tanks. I'm a plumber. I'm out there. I'm not Mr. Super Tech savvy guy, and my app isn't functioning the way it should be. Can I call you guys, or
Yeah.
how do I actually get support?
Yeah. No, we have a support call line, hotline, and we also have email and chat support.
So I can call a real person, get them
Call
on
a
the
real person.
phone,
Get
and
on.
say, my iPad isn't working. I don't know why. It isn't telling me where to go. I press this button and it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Can you help me out?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
To
We
me,
can
that's
absolutely.
huge because a lot of software companies don't have that. And they say, fill out a ticket, we'll get back to you in 3 days, which doesn't do much
No,
good.
3 days doesn't help you while you're sitting there in somebody's garage trying to fix a
Right.
water heater.
Right.
And you're like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be working on here.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we do provide varying levels of support to help, whatever a company feels that they're going to need, they can subscribe to. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got a level where I can actually call on the phone
Talk to
24/7 and get a real person and say, hey, my iPad's broke or whatever's happening and it's not functioning. And I can actually talk to a person who's going to help me.
Yep.
To me, that's huge because a lot of software companies don't do that.
Yeah.
And
And
you
they
get
and we
good.
care. I mean, you're also going to get an empathetic voice on the other end who's like, okay, I feel your pain. I know you're stressed. Let's help you through this.
Okay, well, I think that's huge because to me, the big differentiator in software companies, because they all got way more stuff than we can use. I mean, there's way more features that people can figure out how to use in most cases,
Mhm.
but it's the actual implementation and support where a lot of companies break down. Where, you know, I use chat. I don't want to use chat. I want to talk to a person. I'm sorry, we only do chat. Or, that to me is very frustrating for somebody who's
It
using software.
is. Yeah. And then the other part, is to help things be less complicated. We can turn modules on and off for like a field person who doesn't need to see a bunch of things that's going to distract them, or they might, be like frustrated by or not understand. Like we can change the view for each user so it's tailored to what they need to access to do their job.
Okay. So you have real people helping real people implement the software. Because I mean, that's
Yep.
really important.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that sounds great. You have lots of users, all different industries.
Yeah.
Um,
So many.
so how do I find out if it makes sense for me to use you guys? You have like a free use case, or should I change from who I'm using now? I mean, there's a lot of questions and people they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what I would invite anybody to do is visit our website, zuper.co. So it's zuper.co. And then while they're there, look at some of our customer stories, look at some of our videos. And if it's those stories start to resonate with you, click book a demo. You're going to get a one-on-one demo with one of our solution experts who will be routed to based on your industry and use case. So you're going to get someone who knows your space.
So
Who,
if you're a plumber, you're not going to get somebody who's an HVAC guy, right?
yeah, well, there's a lot of crossover there. But if
Well, I mean, well,
you're
let's
a
say
facility
I'm a pest
manager,
control guy and I don't want to get
yeah,
a guy that knows
exactly.
plumbing, right?
Exactly. Exactly. You're going to get someone who's worked with companies like yours. So when you're speaking about what's keeping you up at night, they're immediately going to have some ideas on how Zuper can help.
So it's like a free coaching kind of thing in a way.
Yeah, a very consultative type sales process because we want to make sure you're a good fit for us, and we'll be the first ones to tell you this. We are not the good fit, and
Now, how big? I can see big enterprise. How big? I mean, a guy in a truck, does he have to have two trucks or three trucks? I mean, how big does a client need to be before this makes sense?
about for us it's 10. You got to have about 10 users. Not all of them have to be field techs, some back office people, but a total of about 10 licenses.
Okay. So if I'm a guy in a truck, probably not a good fit. But if I'm three guys and three trucks and I've got 10 people all in, it should be useful, right?
It should be very useful. You'll start to see that. And then of course, as you scale up, you know, 100 hundreds of users, field users that, yeah, we support that as well.
Okay, cool. Well, I would say anybody who's the people who aren't using the software in the service industry or are questioning whether they're using the right software, because there's a lot of stuff available out there,
Yep.
right? And the
There's a lot
question
of,
is,
yeah,
am I on the right one? Is it good for me? Does it make sense? They could call you and find out, am I in the best tool given the size of my company, what I'm doing?
absolutely. And we'll be able to tell you what you could expect for your ROI and if we can help you.
Cool. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Rob. And I would say anybody who either isn't using some kind of software to manage their service business or questions if the software they're using is the right software for them, I would say, Super's a good place to start, right?
Uh, I'm biased, but I definitely think so.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you being here, Bob.
Oh, thanks, Paul, for having me. It's been a pleasure.